I've learned, sweetheart? Silence. It's louder than a scream, louder than words. When you walk into a room and you don't say a thing, but they feel you. It's power, raw, unfiltered, undeniable power. And guess what? You're going to learn how to wield it, like a blade pressed to their throats. You see, the world loves noise. It thrives on it. Everyone's talking, shouting, screaming over each other to be heard. But here's the joke. The louder they are, the weaker they become. They're drowning themselves in their own noise, desperate for attention, validation, whatever scraps the world throws at them. It's pathetic. And you've been part of that circus, haven't you? Dancing like a fool to their tune. But not anymore. Not after tonight. Tonight, you'll learn how to make the room bow to you without uttering a damn word. You know, people don't respect loud. They fear quiet. Think about it. When a dog barks, you ignore it. But when it stares at you, teeth bared, silent, that's when your heart starts racing. Silence is tension. It's a loaded gun, cocked and ready. And in this world, kid, tension rules. You've been letting them talk over you, step on you, laugh at you. I can see it in your eyes. You've got that little twitch, that little fire you've been trying to bury because you think it's dangerous. And you're right. It is dangerous. But dangerous is good. Dangerous gets results. You just need to learn how to control it, how to channel it. Let me tell you a little secret. People are sheep. They follow the loudest voice in the room until they meet someone who doesn't need to speak. The quiet ones, the still ones, they're the wolves. And wolves. Wolves don't bark. They bite. You want revenge, don't you? Oh, I can see it burning in your chest, crawling under your skin. They've pushed you, hurt you, humiliated you. And now you're ready to show them what happens when they push too far. But here's the thing about revenge. It's not about screaming in their face or throwing a tantrum. That's what weaklings do. No, real revenge is quiet. It's calculated. It's walking into the room, looking them in the eye, and watching them squirm because they know they're beneath you. They'll try to provoke you, pull you into their chaos. That's their game. But you're smarter than that now. You're going to play the long game. You're going to make them feel so small, so insignificant, that your silence will echo in their heads long after you're gone. And when they look back, they'll realize you didn't have to say a damn thing. You controlled them without lifting a finger. I want you to remember this. Power isn't about what you say. It's about what you don't say. It's about the way you look at them, the way you carry yourself, When you're silent, they project their fears onto you. They fill the void with their insecurities, their doubts. You become a mirror, and they see the ugliness of their own reflection. And that terrifies them. Think of it like this. When a storm's coming, the silence before it hits is what chills you to the bone. That's what you're going to become. The calm before the storm. The silence that promises destruction. But don't mistake silence for weakness. Oh no. Silence is a weapon. And like any weapon, it needs to be sharpened. You've got to learn control, discipline, when to strike and when to wait. That's what separates the amateurs from the professionals. And you're going to be a goddamn professional. They'll learn to fear you, not because of what you say, but because of what you don't. Every move you make, every glance, every breath, it'll scream dominance. You'll own the room, own their minds, without saying a single word. That's the kind of power that doesn't fade. That's the kind of power that lasts. Here's the beauty of it. They'll never see it coming. They'll underestimate you, laugh at you, think you're nothing. Let them. Let them have their little jokes. Because when you finally step into that room, when you stand there in silence and let your presence do the talking, they'll realize too late, you're not nothing, you're everything. And the best part? You won't have to raise your voice. Hell, you won't even have to raise a finger. You'll watch as they crumble under the weight of their own guilt, their own shame. And you'll stand there calm, collected, untouchable. That's power. That's control. So, what do you say, kid? Ready to stop being their punchline and start being the one who writes the jokes? Remember, silence isn't empty. It's full of answers. And when you master it, you won't just control the room. You'll own it. You think it ends here, don't you? Just walking into a room, all quiet and smug, and suddenly everyone bows. No, no, no. That's just the start, my friend. See, silence is a tool, a weapon. But like every weapon, you've got to know when to use it and when to put it away. Power isn't just about standing still. It's about knowing you could move, knowing you could speak, knowing you could tear them apart with a single word, but choosing not to. That's control. Control, my friend, is what separates the predators from the prey. And the world, it's a jungle. They tell you it's fair, civilized, balanced. Lies. It's dog eat dog out there. And the only ones who survive are the ones who understand the rules of the hunt. You've been playing by their rules. And look where it's gotten you. Broken, bitter, angry. But now, you're going to learn the rules of the jungle. And rule number 1, never let them know your next move. You've seen it before, haven't you? The guy who talks too much, brags too loud. He's the first to go down. Why? Because he's given them everything. All his cards laid out on the table for everyone to see. Idiot. You? You're going to keep your cards close. Hell, you're not even going to let them know you're in the game until it's too late. When you're silent, they guess. They second guess. They doubt. And doubt, my dear, is a cancer. It eats away at their confidence, their plans, their precious little egos. While they're busy trying to figure you out, you're already 10 steps ahead, ready to strike. And when you do, they won't even see it coming. Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a man, quiet, unassuming, the kind of guy you wouldn't look twice at in a crowd. Everyone thought he was weak, harmless. They laughed at him, used him, took him for granted. But what they didn't know, what they couldn't know, was that he was watching, always watching, learning their weaknesses, their habits, their fears. And one day, he didn't say a word. He just acted, swift, decisive. He didn't give them time to react, to defend themselves. And when the dust settled, he stood alone, untouched, while they were left in ruins. The man, he understood the power of silence, the power of patience. You can be that man. No? Scratch that. You can be better. But first, you've got to let go of this need to prove yourself. That's the trap they want you to fall into. The moment you try to explain yourself, to defend yourself, you already lost. Because defending yourself means you care what they think. And you're above that now. You don't explain. You don't defend. You just are. Think about the greats, the ones who truly commanded respect. They didn't need to shout or stomp their feet. They just walked into a room and the air changed. Thick, heavy, electric. People felt them before they even spoke. And when they did speak, oh, every word was a bullet, sharp and precise. But the real power, the real fear, that came from the silence between the words. Now, I know what you're thinking. But Joker, what about the ones who don't back down? What about the loudmouths who keep coming at me? Easy. You let them tire themselves out. Let them huff and puff and scream until their voices crack, until their faces turn red. And when they're finally out of breath, when they've thrown every pathetic little insult they've got, that's when you strike. Not with words, not with fists, but with presence. You stare them down, cold, unblinking, like they're beneath you, because they are. And trust me, they'll crumble. They always do. Because deep down, they know they're playing a losing game. They know they don't have what it takes to stand against someone like you. But don't think for a second this is just about revenge. Oh no. This is about more than that. This is about building something bigger, something stronger. It's about becoming untouchable. The kind of person who doesn't just survive, but thrives. The kind of person who walks through the fire and comes out the other side without a single burn. And here's the kicker. They'll hate you for it. Oh, they'll despise you because you'll remind them of everything they're not. Strong, confident, unshakable. They'll talk behind your back, plot against you, try to drag you down. Let them. Their hatred is proof that you're doing something right. Because the truth is, people hate what they can't control. And you'll be uncontrollable, a force of nature, a silent storm, tearing through their lives without ever raising your voice. So, go on. Step into the room. Let them feel your presence. Let them drown in their own noise. And when the time comes, remind them, without saying a single word, just who the hell they're dealing with. You feel that, don't you? That silence in your chest? That weight? That's not fear. No. That's potential. It's power waiting to be unleashed. You've been sitting on it your whole life, letting it rust, letting it rot. But now you're waking up. You're starting to see the cracks in their little world, aren't you? The way they pretend to have it all figured out, the way they smile and laugh, like they're untouchable. But behind those smiles, fear. Fear of you. Fear of what you could become if you ever decided to stop playing their game. I know what they've done to you. The lies, the betrayals, the way they've tried to shrink you down, make you small, make you doubt yourself. They've been feeding you poison day after day, hoping you'd swallow it and stay weak. But you didn't, did you? Not entirely. There's still a spark in there, a little flame they couldn't snuff out. And that flame, it's going to burn everything they built. Not with rage, not with chaos, but with cold, calculated silence. You'll become the thing they fear most, the unknown, the question they can't answer, the shadow they can't escape. Here's the funny thing about people. They think they want answers, but they don't. They want comfort. They want certainty. And when you take that away, when you leave them with nothing but their own doubts and insecurities That's when they break. That's when they fall apart. You're not going to give them the satisfaction of knowing what you're thinking, what you're planning. Let them guess. Let them drive themselves crazy trying to figure you out. That's how you win. Not by shouting over them, not by playing their game, but by changing the rules entirely. You know what I love about silence? It's honest. Words, they're cheap. Anyone can say anything. But silence, that takes strength. It takes confidence. It's the ultimate truth because it forces people to confront themselves. And trust me, most people can't handle that. They'd rather drown in their own noise than face the silence. But you're going to embrace it. You're going to make it your ally, your weapon. And when they try to fill the void with their pathetic little words, you'll just stand there, calm, unmoving, untouchable. But don't think this is going to be easy. Oh, no, they're going to test you, push you. They'll do everything they can to get a reaction out of you. That's their game. They want you to snap, to lose control, to stoop to their level. But you won't. Because you're better than that. You're going to let them talk. Let them scream. Let them make fools of themselves. And when they're done, when they've run out of steam, you'll still be standing there, silent, unshaken. And that will destroy them. Because deep down, they know they can't touch you. They can't break you. You see, real power isn't about what you can take from others. It's about what they can't take from you. Your silence, your composure, your presence, that's yours. They can't steal it, can't corrupt it, can't twist it into something else. It's pure. It's untouchable. And when you walk into a room with that kind of power, oh, they'll feel it. The air will change. The room will go quiet. Not because you demanded it, but because they can't ignore you. You'll command respect without ever asking for it. But here's the thing. You've got to believe it first. You've got to see yourself as the force of nature you're becoming. Because if you don't believe it, neither will they. Confidence isn't loud. It's quiet. It's steady. It's walking into a room and knowing, without a shadow of a doubt, that you're the one in control. And that confidence, it's not something they can give you. It's not something they can take away. It's yours. It's always been yours. You've just been too blind to see it. But now you see it, don't you? That spark in your chest, that fire in your belly. It's growing. And soon, it's going to consume everything that's held you back. The fear, the doubt, the pain. It's all fuel for the fire. And when it burns away, all that'll be left real you. The you they were too scared to let out. Well, they told you silence was weakness, didn't they? They told you to speak up, to fight back, to scream until your throat bled if you wanted to be heard. But here's the joke. They don't hear you when you scream. They don't respect the loud. They respect the quiet. Think about the times you were silent when you bit your tongue and watched instead of speaking. That's when they felt the most uncomfortable, wasn't it? That's when their masks started to slip, when their voices got shaky, when their eyes darted around the room, looking for a way out. Because silence is a mirror, and they hate what they see in it. That's the beauty of this, my friend. You don't have to lift a finger to destroy them. You just have to stand there, watch them squirm. Let their own insecurities do the work for you. It's a beautiful thing, really. Watching them unravel while you stay perfectly still. But let's not sugarcoat this. Silence is a weapon, yes, but it's also a burden. It's heavy. It demands discipline, patience, control. It's not for the faint of heart. You'll have to resist the urge to lash out, to prove yourself, to defend yourself. You'll have to let them think they've won. Let them underestimate you. And that, my friend, takes strength. They'll try to break you. Oh, they'll poke and prod, throw their words at you like knives, hoping one will stick. They'll call you names, accuse you of things you didn't do, twist your silence to something ugly. And you'll stand there and take it. Because you'll know the truth. You'll know that every word they throw at you is just a reflection of their own fears, their own weaknesses. You want to know the trick to mastering silence? It's not about biting your tongue or suppressing your emotions. It's about owning them. Feeling every ounce of anger, every pang of hurt, every flicker of doubt, and then letting it pass. Letting it roll off you like water off a stone. Because the moment you let their words stick to you, the moment you let them get under your skin, you've lost. But when you stand there, unflinching, unwavering, unbroken, that's when you win. That's when they realize they can't touch you. And that, my dear friend, is the moment they'll start to fear you. Picture it. You walk into a room, and the air changes. The chatter dies down. All eyes turn to you. Not because you've demanded their attention, but because they can't help themselves. They feel it, the weight of your presence, the power radiating off you. And you don't say a word. You just stand there, calm, composed, in control. They'll try to fill the silence, of course. They'll fidget, laugh nervously, maybe even throw out a few insults, hoping to get a reaction. But you'll just watch, quiet, unbothered. And in that silence, they'll feel their own insignificance. They'll see themselves for what they truly are. Small, weak, powerless. But don't get comfortable. Power like this comes with a price. The stronger you become, the more they'll try to tear you down. They'll whisper behind your back, spread lies, do everything they can to tarnish your name. Let them. Their words mean nothing. Their opinions mean nothing. Because you'll know the truth. You'll know that you're untouchable. And here's the kicker, they'll respect you for it. Oh, they won't admit it, of course. They'll never say it out loud. But deep down, in the darkest corners of their minds, they'll know. They'll know that you're the one in control. That you're the one they can't beat. So, here's your choice. You can keep playing their game, keep shouting into the void, keep begging for scraps of respect they'll never give you. Or you can step into the silence, embrace it, own it, make it your weapon, your shield, your crown. And when you do, oh, they'll feel it. They'll feel it in their bones, in their guts, in their very souls. They'll know they're standing in the presence of someone who doesn't just command respect, someone who demands it without saying a single word. So, what's it gonna be, kid? Are you ready to control the room? Ready to make them see you for what you really are? Because once you step into this power, there's no going back. You'll be a force they can't ignore, a presence they can't escape. And trust me, my friend, they'll never forget you. You're still here, still breathing it in. Good. It means you're starting to understand, starting to feel it, the shift in your gut, the fire in your veins. You're waking up to the truth, the kind of truth they don't put in books or plaster on motivational posters. It's ugly, raw, and it stinks of reality. But it's real, and real. Oh, real is powerful. Now listen carefully, because this is the part where most people screw it up. You've got the silence. You've got the presence. You're holding the cards close to your chest. But what comes next? How do you use it? Because let me tell you something. Power, sitting still, is just wasted potential. A gun that's never fired, a blade that never cuts. Power needs action. Silent, deliberate, calculated action. Here's how you do it. You don't rush in, guns blazing. You don't scream or shout or wave your fists around like a madman. No, you let them come to you. You let their curiosity, their fear, their insecurity pull them closer. You let the silence build, the tension grow, until it's so thick they can't breathe. And then you strike, but not with words. Words are cheap. Remember, anyone can throw them around. You strike with action. Subtle, deliberate, devastating action. A look, a gesture, a move so precise and unexpected that it cuts deeper than any insult ever could. Picture this. You're in a room full of them. The ones who doubted you, laughed at you, used you. They're talking, laughing, trying to pretend they're in control. And you're just standing there watching, silent, calm, waiting. And then, when the moment's right, you move. Maybe it's a single step forward. Maybe it's a glance, sharp and cold as a knife. Maybe it's nothing more than the way you tilt your head, like you're seeing them for what they truly are. Small, weak, insignificant. And that one move, oh, it'll shatter them. Because it's not what you did, it's what it meant. It's the message behind the silence, the power behind the stillness. That's what breaks them. That's what makes them crumble. And the best part, they'll never be able to call you out on it. Because you didn't say a word. You didn't raise your voice, didn't throw a punch. You just existed. And that existence, that presence, was enough to destroy them. That's the art of it, my friend. The art of silence. The art of control. It's not about doing more. It's about doing less. Less noise, less movement, less effort, and yet achieving more than they ever could. But don't get cocky. This kind of power isn't about stroking your ego or showing off. It's about purpose, precision. Every move you make, every breath you take has to mean something. Because when you're silent, everything you do is amplified. Every glance, every gesture, every step becomes a statement. And that's why you have to be careful. Because once you step into this power, once you embrace the silence, there's no room for mistakes. One wrong move, one slip of the mask, and they'll pounce. They'll tear you apart. Not because they're stronger, but because you let them see a crack in your armor. So you have to be perfect. Every second, every step, every breath. Perfect. Not for them, but for you. Because this isn't about proving anything to them anymore. It's about proving it to yourself. And here's the thing. They'll never see it coming. They'll think you're the same as before. The same quiet, overlooked, underestimated nobody. Let them. Let them think they've got you figured out. Because when you finally make your move, when you finally let them feel the weight of your presence, it'll hit them like a freight train. In that moment, that's when you'll see the fear in their eyes, the realization that they were wrong about you, that they underestimated you, that they can't control you. And trust me, That look, that look is worth more than 1,000 words. So what's it gonna be, kid? Are you ready to step into the silence? Ready to own the room, the moment, the game? Because once you do, there's no going back. You'll be a force they can't ignore, a presence they can't escape. And trust me, they'll never forget you. You're still standing here, aren't you? Good. That means you're getting it. Let me tell you something. Most people would have walked away by now. They don't have the guts to hear the truth, to look in the mirror and face what's staring back at them. But you've got something in you. Something dark. Something sharp. And now, you're finally ready to use it. But don't think this is the end of the lesson. No, no, no. What I've given you so far, that's just the foundation. The basics. You've learned how to wield silence, how to use it as a weapon. But now, it's time to go deeper. It's time to learn how to own it. You see, silence isn't just about shutting up. It's about listening, watching, learning. When you're quiet, when you're still, the world starts to reveal its secrets. People show you who they really are, not the masks they wear, but the cracks underneath. They think they're so clever, so careful, but when you're silent, you see the twitch in their hands, the shift in their eyes, the way their voices falter when they lie. Silence lets you read them, like an open book. And once you know their weaknesses, their fears, their desires, that's when you've truly won. Take a moment. Think about the people who've hurt you, betrayed you, underestimated you. What do they want? What drives them? What keeps them up at night? Because every single one of them, no matter how strong they seem, no matter how loud they bark, they all have something they're afraid of, something they're hiding. And you're gonna find it, not by asking, not by shouting, but by watching, listening, waiting. That's the beauty of it. They'll never even realize you're doing it. They'll be too busy trying to figure you out, trying to fill the silence with their noise, their lies, their excuses. And while they're distracted, you'll be piecing it all together, slowly, methodically, until you have everything you need. And when the time comes, you won't need to say a word. You'll already know exactly how to break them. But here's the thing. You don't just break them for revenge. No, no, no. That's too simple, too shallow. You break them to show them, to teach them, to make them understand what they did, the pain they caused, the damage they left behind. You become their mirror, their reckoning. Because here's the real joke. They think they're untouchable. They think their lies, their masks, their noise will protect them. But silence strips all of that away. It lays them bare, vulnerable, exposed. And that's where your true power lies. Not in the words you say, but in the truths you reveal. In the way you make them see themselves for what they truly are. But don't get soft. Don't let pity or guilt cloud your judgment. They didn't hold back when they hurt you, did they? They didn't hesitate when they betrayed you, used you, left you for dead. So why should you? This isn't about being fair. Fairness is a lie they use to keep you in line. This is about balance, about restoring what they took from you. Your dignity, your power, your voice. And you'll do it without raising yours. That's the irony, isn't it? They silenced you for so long, made you feel like you didn't matter. But now, your silence will be the loudest thing in the room. Picture it. They're sitting there, smug, comfortable, thinking they've won. And then you walk in. You don't shout, don't argue, don't fight. You just stand there, quiet, calm, unshaken. And in that silence, they'll feel it. The weight of your presence. The power you've built. And when they finally realize what you've done, what you've become, oh, they'll regret every word, every action, every choice that brought you to this moment. Because they'll know it's too late to stop you. So, what's it gonna be? Are you ready to take back what's yours? To make them see you, feel you, fear you? Because this isn't just about controlling the room, it's about controlling yourself, your power, your destiny. And trust me, my friend, once you do, the world will never be the same.